Franny Krueger, best friend in the whole wide world. Yeah, you ready for some Dead by Daylight? Sweet. Yeah, I was stoked that the library had it. Alright, let's go. Dude, T-minus 7 days until Camp Crystal Lake. Are you ready? What? No, I did not see the email. Are you serious? It's canceled again? You know what? Let's just play later. I have to go to the library and pick up some holds so I can see if they have anything going on there. Yeah, I'll call you later. Alright, bye. Man. Well, this won't be creepy. Hey, Miss Emily.
What are you doing in here? And why were you just sitting in the dark?
I know it's creepy. I'm sorry. I didn't know where the lights were. Anyway, I'm kind of in crisis right now, and I need some guidance or whatever.
A crisis? What's up?
So, Camp Crystal Lake sent out an email this morning saying that summer camp was canceled again. So now I don't have any plans this summer.
Oof, that is a bummer. You should grab a bunch of your friends and make something for the Teen Film Festival this year. It's happening on Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Film Fest. Do we still have time to make a video?
Definitely. The deadline to submit is July 18th, so if you start filming now, you'll be good. You could check stuff out from our library of things or use the library's computers to help you edit.
I gotta go. Thanks, Miss Emily. Hey, Franny? Yeah, hey, listen, grab your camera and meet me at around 10 minutes. I just figured out what we're doing this summer.
All right, everyone, welcome. Thank you for coming to our 15th annual Teen Film Fest. I don't know if you can believe it, 15 years we've been doing this. Thank you for joining us in Recreation Park. We've pre-recorded a lot of this, but we are lucky to be joined by two of our very favorite judges for the Teen Film Fest, Tamara Chambers and Matt Lauterbach. Tamara, would you be able to tell us a little about yourself?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Tamara Chambers, and I am an actress / movie reviewer on YouTube.
Awesome. How about you, Matt?
Hey, I'm Matt Lauterbach. I am a documentary filmmaker and editor, and had the pleasure in 2019 of being the filmmaker in residence at Arlington Heights Memorial Library. So that was my first Teen Fest, and I came back for the virtual one last year, and I'm excited to be here at the hybrid one. Hello, Matt in the audience.
All right. So can you talk to us about when you're watching these films and judging these films submitted for the Teen Film Fest? What are you looking for? What's your sort of criteria for, for the quality of these films? Tamara?
When I'm watching the Teen Film Fest, I'm looking for just a new creation that we can all watch together. Hopefully some fun has been had, whether it's a new story, an original song, whether it's stop motion or animation or live action. I'm just looking for a thoughtful, detail-oriented piece piece of new media that we can all enjoy together?
Yeah, I'm looking for my interest to be piqued, and that could be by being made to laugh at something unexpected or really hilarious. That could be being made to go like, whoa, at something that's super scary. I like being made to feel something and any emotion, but if you make me feel that emotion and pull me into your film, then I'm there for it. So that's what I'm looking for.
All right. Well, what we have for you today are a bunch of films from our filmmakers. We're going to have some conversations with these filmmakers, and you'll get to see that and hear some feedback and more about their process. And then we're going to announce some awards, and we'll even have a chance for you to grant your own audience favorite award. So watch these carefully because you are also a judge. So without further ado, we're going to get started with our first film.
Monster, monster under my bed, come out, come play, 'cause I need a friend. Come on, let's go, have an adventure. I don't want to surrender to boredom, and I'm sure neither do you. Come on, let's visit somewhere new. We'll have fun and dance around. Uh-oh, my head is starting to pound. Come talk to me, sitting here is so dull. Thoughts rattle around in my skull. Come on, come out from hiding. Out here is so inviting. I know you're down under there. Let's go outside, feel the fresh air. I see you now, come out please. Come and please spend time with me. Monster, monster under my bed. Come out, come play, 'cause I need a friend. Will you come if I bribe you with goodies? Hurry up, my mom is making cookies.
Madeline, that was so fun, yet also a little creepy. Can you talk about where you got the idea for that?
So it's kind of a common thing, like the idea of a monster under the bed, but like in this case, it's someone who's friends with the monster under their bed. So it's just fun to take something that's common and put like a little spin on it.
And I loved that little spin on it. On my notes while watching, I just wrote great punchline, LOL. Like I just loved like what kind or whatever the voice of that monster is. It's so perfect that the reason I think it pays off and that it works is because you've chosen some really interesting camera angles that give it that creepy sense that Evan talked about in a really fun way that kind of plays with the audience's expectations. So you don't know because you have this like, fun little sing-song, song that you've created, but then you've got these creepy camera angles. And is it going to go cute and funny or is it going to go dark? And so that's what's really fun when you hear it and, oh, good, it is just a friendly monster who just wants to know what kind of cookies. And then you have that wonderful end credits sequence with all the drawings of them just having fun playing together. So I really, really enjoyed that. My only feedback would be the moment where we see you lip sync. That's a really fun moment. And And if the lip sync were a little more right on point, then I think it could have gotten, a nice sort of, oh my gosh, like this is actually really, she's really singing. And so that's one thing I do encourage you is think about your process for how to get the lip sync as perfect as you can get it. And whether that's, pre-recording the song, playing it in the room while you're singing the lyrics back, so you already know what your music is, and then you try as exactly as you can and maybe do a few takes and choose the best one. But that's really the only thing that I would say. But lots of fun angles, and then again that final turnaround to see the monster under the bed, and it's just a friendly little guy.
How about you, Tamara?
Oh man, you checked off all the boxes of things that I really love. Musical, some horror vibes, lighthearted, some sci-fi, maybe just like some really, really fun things. And it's a simple concept, like you were saying, it's the monster under the bed, but you really leave us wanting more with it too. I also love that we go from you singing a cappella to the upbeat music with the drawings. I think that's a really great shift there. And the whole time watching it, my first watch through was just, I was like, I really want to have confirmation that this monster's real. I've got to get that. And then you get it, and it's so great. I was so glad. And that it was like a funny line too. And it's just really lighthearted and just really sweet. Made me just want more of the monster too, but you put in the perfect amount. I always just want too much of monsters. I wanted more aliens and signs. So it's always a bad thing for me. You put in the perfect amount of monster, and it was just really, really, really great. And again, just original songs are awesome and not utilized very often. And I think the acapella-ness of it all was a great touch too. And I wrote the same thing. I think that just the lip sync was a little off, but even so, it was just so fantastically fun and well done. Just on the writing and the execution and what we got to hear and see of the monster. And the drawings were awesome too. So amazing job.
Yeah, and I'll add that we've seen your work in previous festivals, and they all involve very catchy lyrics, right? But this is the first time you've done live action, and so kudos to you for getting out of your comfort zone and setting up that camera, putting yourself in the film. It's really cool to see your work evolve. And I have a kind of a question for you, Madeline, which is, in your mind, and we saw a little bit of it in your drawings, but in your mind, what does the monster look like under that bed?
Yeah, so like the reason I used the drawings was because I wanted to kind of leave it up to people's imagination, uh, but like kind of just a human that looks a little weird,
I love that.
Nice.
like like bright colors and like animal feet and a tail.
I also felt like at the end, it just left it open for the audience to decide, like, is this a Venom type situation where maybe the monster is nice to you and your mom who gives the monster cookies, but maybe they're kind of a troublesome monster in the real world. So like it just left it open to interpretation. That was really cool. And yeah, loved it.
I have a couple of questions, some like big picture, some like small and very specific. So let's get specific. What was that monster voice? Like how did you create that effect?
Well, I just kind of said like random syllables and put it through like the GarageBand monster filter.
That did it. It sounded like a monster that was like creepy, but not necessarily, like wasn't, could be a scary monster, maybe not a scary monster. So I think you did the right combination of syllables. My other question is about, I know we were talking earlier about, you singing a cappella, and all your previous songs, I don't know if you found that background music or created that background music, but I think the a cappella-ness really adds something. Can you talk about like how you made that decision or why you made that decision?
Yeah, so I thought it would be better to be like kind of like I'm just actually sitting there and singing to a monster rather than like having it be like pre set up kind of. So I thought it would go better with, again, kind of the like fun slash a little spooky vibe to just have it be me singing in a room.
Hmm. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things. Both of the angles you choose, that like that first angle you choose, we don't see you. So like there's that mystery of who is this person? And then we do see you, but then we always see under the bed and we're always like primed for like something to come out. But then also like people, especially kids, singing quietly to themselves with no music is creepy. Like in horror movies, that's usually
Mm-hmm.
what you hear. Like that means like there's ghosts going on or something's talking to that kid. And is it just an imaginary friend or is there a monster under that bed? So you created that like mix of atmosphere really well.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
So we are all watching this on August 13th in Rec Park right now. I'm wondering, are you there? And did you bring the monster?
Well, I am there. Unfortunately, the monster was unable to come. Yeah, he's a very introverted person.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you say hi to yourself? I don't know if you have any message for future you.
Hi, self. Just that. Yeah.
That's a good message. It's a good message. Just say hi to your future self. All right, everyone. Let's hear it for Madeline and also maybe her monster that's not there.
Excellent
So great.
work.
Oh, hey, it's me, Vishnu. The past 6 months, I've been, how do I put this in a way where it sounds productive? I've been researching the internet, and I've been taste testing juice boxes. No, I've actually just been on the internet doing some weird stuff. Being unemployed is really fun. And while I was on the internet, I noticed this trend on a little website called TikTok. You might not have heard of it. It was about star signs. Apparently, people on TikTok, really young people mainly, they believe that what time you were born and what star sign you have gives you certain traits, that they make you a certain way just based on when you were born. My sister is one of the dopes who believes in that kind of stuff. Say hi. Certified dope. Anyways, I'm an Aquarius, so obviously I really wanted to see if there was some kind of truth to this. And maybe there is. Well, I thought it was crazy until I noticed this. You see, I was born in January, the month named after Janus, the god of doorways. And maybe that's why every time I step through a doorway, this happens. This is why I haven't left my room in over a year. Hey folks, it's been a while. It's me, Ruggedly Handsome Vishnu, which is kind of saying something if you have to become a drawing to be handsome. But I'm doing way better than I was before. I mean, I don't need flesh and bones. Look at me, I'm just like pencils, and I'm doing completely fine. Anyways, back to what I was saying, the star sign stuff really started on TikTok when a bunch of people decided that stars determined your entire personality, what you look like, who you can be friends with. It's nuts. I'd like one Kaiser roll, please.
Alright, what would you like with that?
Well, I'm an Aquarian, though.
So what?
Cheddar slices, please. Excuse me, Aquarian coming through. Sorry, I'm an Aquarian. Hey, excuse me, professional Aquarian here. Oh, you're an Aries? Sucks, man. Well, I guess we can't all be lucky.
So recently I've been having some problems in my marriage.
That's a pretty Virgo thing to say. Turns out he was a Cancer, and also turns out that nobody actually cares about star sign. My research has been fruitful. Oh no, not Ganondorf again.
Ah, I lost my good looks. Well, at least I'm out of my room. Got a little tiring just drinking apple juice and eating Halloween candy from 2017. I should be dead. Anyways, the issue with this star sign stuff, as I was saying, is that it tells people that they are special because of when they were born. And sure, I'd like to think that I'm special, but my dominant planet is Uranus. I don't want to be special that way. I mean, look, star signs tell us that certain people are compatible with others. So, I got my trusty dusty pear phone here. I'm going to find all my friends that are Tauruses and Scorpio. You know, the star signs that I, an Aquarius, is not compatible with. Let me just look through my friends list and, so, bad news. I don't have any Taurus or Scorpio friends. Good news. It's a coincidence. And star signs don't mean anything. I mean, here, let me give you an example. I was born in the year of the rooster. Rooster hours are from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I wrote this video script in that time. This video is terrible. I mean, the max amount of research I did is I searched up Aquarius on Google, and I laughed at the results. It just can't be real. You know, who I am is not related to what star sign I was given at birth. That doesn't mean anything, does it? I wonder if this might help me get employed, actually. You see? Aquarian. Parentheses. Certified waterbender. I'm a genius. We all learned a very valuable lesson here. It doesn't really matter what star sign you are. It matters what Patronus you are. That's right, star signs don't matter. I mean, even if they could determine what emoji you really were, and I am kind of curious, but no, star signs have nothing to do with it. So this trend is pretty much stupid. Well, that's me, signing off. Unless you're a Cancer, am I right?
What did
No.
you say about cancers?
Wait. Come on, man. It was just a joke, all right? And don't do anything you'll regret later on.
You dirty, lying Aquarian.
No, wait, please, no, dude, no.
That was great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
My question I want to sneak in is who were did you play every voice, or did you have other folks providing voice work for you?
So the baker was actually my sister, and she did a really good job with the accent. And then I got one of my friends, who's also a YouTuber. I got him to voice the guy with the floppy hair too. And then at the end, when the lights turn off.
Awesome.
And what about the sister who yells from the room, "I'm not a dope"?
Certified dope. So she's a big TikTok fan. So she didn't really like that I did this video on like star signs because she believes in that stuff. But like even then, I still managed to get one on her because she says, "I'm not a dope. What does that mean?" So I still win in the end.
So that was your real sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'll start things off. I just loved where it took us. And where it took us was this stream of consciousness where like you're talking yourself into and out of sign belief, and you're getting into logical loops, and it's super fun, and you're being pulled from 3 dimensions into 2 dimensions. It really is kind of a fun ride where you don't know what's going to happen next. And I do confess to having been expecting and hoping to be drawn back into the 2D realm at the end, because you did such a good job with that. In terms of that like fast-paced stream of consciousness, who knows what's going to happen next? There were a lot of non sequiturs, a lot of things just thrown in that you're like, what was that? And what was that? So really fun. I really enjoyed it. And I'm kind of curious about your process. It was all you. I mentioned that stream of consciousness feel. Was it improvised? Was it scripted? Was it some combination? What was your process?
So I tried so hard to make a script, but then I noticed that when I did the script, it didn't feel lifelike. So I had like 2 takes for each line where I just did the script, and then I realized when you do that, it doesn't feel lifelike. So I just like made the script like a bunch of bullet points, and then I improvised between each point that I did. So a lot of it changed between take to take, and that was really fun.
I'm so glad I asked, because it did have that feel of just being off script, like you're just winging it. But the jokes were too good to be just completely improvised. And so, yeah, that's a great way to do it. You know, that's I don't improv, but you know, I did used to teach, and the closer I tried to stick to my you know, quote script, the worse it went. And having just a little list, a bullet list, and then going for it from there, that's a really good technique. So it showed, and yeah, I can't wait to see more.
I really enjoyed making it, just because I got to switch between like animation and real life, and really I made the video just like as an excuse to try it, because I really wanted to try that transition.
The transition was phenomenal. It was so unexpected, and it caught me so off guard, and your voiceover was so great inside of it. I loved the professional Aquarius coming through. We can't all be like everything. I'm just gonna tell you back your jokes because I just love them all so much. The nuts one got me so good. I paused it when I was first watching it, and I went to show my husband because it was so funny. I loved this. I loved it so much. I subbed, I clicked the bell icon. This is the content I want to be seeing. I loved it. It was so fun. It was so much fun. You like you said, with the bullet points, you can tell like that you had a plan going in. You didn't just plop down and just start recording whatever came out, but that also it was stream of conscious. It was like natural, and it came from you're just a very talented performer, and just so fun to watch. Hilarious. I really loved the different steps that we were taken through. Going into the animation was such a delight, so much fun. And because you showed us that, then I just wanted more from you. So you made it harder for yourself, because I saw the animation. I was like, yes, that's what I want. That's what I love. Let's see something else. And you did. You kept delivering those things. But now I just want to see more. I want to see more Vishnu. I want to see more transitions into weirder things. And it was just great. I loved it so much. I also had a very similar question of like what the process is like. Do you make YouTube videos like this? And then this was just the topic for the one you submitted.
So my past YouTube videos, I did like full animation. I got into this in like the 2016, 2018 era, where like animation YouTubers were like dominating the platform. So I got inspired by that and I created it. But then as time went on and I got into high school, I got more confident. So I started filming videos of my actual face. And so I really wanted to bridge those two. So that's really why I wanted to make this video.
It was so well done. I always love seeing that too, especially with artist YouTubers, when they finally bridge that gap of showing their face. And you are truly, truly funny and truly, truly entertaining. So I'm so glad that you bridged that gap and that you are showing yourself as well. Congratulations. Amazing work. I loved this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was so good. I think when I think about like my favorite comedies, it's not just how funny the jokes are, but the density of jokes. Like how many times am I going to laugh?
Yes.
And there are still jokes like I miss. Like, I've seen your film. This is maybe the third or fourth time I've watched that, and I just caught the "on your resume is Miss Ohio 2017." That's a great joke.
You got to
That's
pause to see that.
I
and not
paused
just
it when
like-
it came up.
And it's not just like Miss Ohio isn't what's funny. It's the 2017 that's funny. And actually, that might be the funniest recent date. Just for some reason, 2017 is a funny date to say, and you use that like that's the Halloween candy you had. Like, you have such great comic instinct.
Yeah.
I was very impressed at.
And I'll add just one more layer of jokes that you put in there, which only a caption user like me will notice, where you, in the closed captions on the YouTube link, there's, in parentheses, Harry Potter reference and ... thinking, and other fun jokes in the captions. So you're putting them everywhere you can. It's great.
Oh, I totally forgot to credit. My mother actually wrote the captions for the video. Like, I told her I wanted to do it, and then she said, no, I got this. So she wrote the captions on the YouTube link just so that everybody could understand like where my train of thought was going.
That's awesome.
That's
That
so
is
great.
awesome. A talented family then. I love that.
Vishnu, thank you so much for submitting this year. It was so great having you here and seeing that great, hilarious movie.
Yes.
So it is August 13th now. It is not August 13th when we're recording this. There's a future version of yourself. I don't know if you've walked through any doorways recently, so I don't know if in our audience is human Vishnu or animated Vishnu, but I don't know if you want to wave it yourself. Say hi to future Vishnu.
Hey, what's up, future Vishnu? If you're still like me, then you're still nerdy and you're going to make more of these. So definitely keep doing that.
Awesome. And also, if Vishnu's mom is here,
Yeah.
also wave. Nice,
Yeah.
nice caption
Thank you
jokes.
so much for that.
And sister for the voices.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Vishnu and Vishnu's traveling performance family.
Thank you so much for everybody who worked on it. Thank you so much to my sister too, because that voice was like really hard for her to do. She'd never done something like that before.
Awesome.
That
True
is so great.
collaboration.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah.
good.
All right, everyone, give it up for Vishnu. Thanks, Vishnu. Let's move on to our next film. Charlotte, that was so great. Could you talk about where you got the idea for that movie?
I sort of made a little scene of a park, and I was just like, this would be a great scene for a Lego stop motion animation film because it's just a little pretty scene of a park. I could already see a plane getting stuck in that little tree in the corner. And it was like really open. There weren't a lot of obstacles. One time I made the mistake of making a stop motion animation movie with in like a little forest, and it was very hard to move the person's legs to get it to walking. So it's nice that it's open and there aren't really any obstacles that you have to watch out and make sure you're not moving. So then I was sort of thinking they could just be having fun in the park. And then I was thinking, okay, so how should this movie end? Like, they get the plane stuck in the tree and they get it down. But then what do they do? Specifically to get revenge, because because in the movie, Lily's the girl with the little side ponytail, and Ryan is the other kid with brown hair. And Lily like bumps into Ryan while playing tag and knocks him over. So I feel like Ryan would be a little bit mad and want to get a bit of revenge on Lily to get revenge because his plane was knocked into a tree. So then I thought water fight, because water fights are really fun.
Awesome.
Totally.
Tara, do you have any feedback to give Charlotte?
Yes, Charlotte, this is so cool. I have attempted to do stop motion one time in my life, and it was a disastrous effort. I know how tedious it can be and how specific you have to be. And you can already tell, like, you're clearly so specific with it. You have the characters' names, something that, as an audience member, we don't ever even see that, but you have that in your mind. And that just shows how specific you got with it, which is so important to make a movie. And I loved it. I loved the water fight. Something about Lego water just always dazzles me. I don't know what it is, but I love the droplets coming down and the hose. I also loved the water sound effect you had and the squeaking of the, what are those called? Not a merry-go-round.
Yeah, it's a merry-go-round.
Merry-go-round? Okay. Yeah, I loved those sound effects. Just so great. I really enjoyed it. I would love to see even more sound effects. I think that's really fun to get super specific, like maybe some chomps of grass or anything. You clearly have the mind for it. I would love to see more, or I guess hear more sound effects. But I had such a great time watching it. Wildly impressed. How long did this take you to film from the first Lego brick down till the end?
I don't know, maybe maybe an hour or two.
Wow.
I like to open like Amazon Music and like start playing music and listen through headphones to some playlist while I'm making stop motion animations, which it makes it very enjoyable. But it does get very tedious just when you're moving a little leg, which is why it's much more fun to animate the small minifigures, because they can just like jump like through a stud. You don't have to like lift up the leg 3 times to take a single step.
Totally. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, what music do you listen to?
Well, for this one I was listening to some Taylor Swift music.
Great.
Sometimes I just listen to random songs.
Amazing job, Charlotte. Really good job.
And I thought you might have been listening to the jaunty guitar music that was playing throughout most of the animation, which I just thought was perfect for setting the tone of that day. Just real easy going. And that's just kind of how you feel at the park. You're just relaxing, some casual revenge thrown in there. But really loved how universal it felt. Who hasn't been to the park and had to throw a ball to get something out of a tree? I had to do that recently myself when I had some my niece and nephew over. It's just lots of fun, universal feeling experiences, gives us adults the nostalgia of childhood. So really loved the tone that you set and some of the sort of the everyday kind of feel to it. And then, some of the things you mentioned about consistency, that the challenges you were finding, that is one area where I think, your animation work could benefit from, a more stable kind of fixed frame. I did notice, a little bit of kind of jittery where, it might pull out a little bit and zoom in a little bit, and getting that stable frame, I think, can be your next challenge, your next, skill to try to incorporate. Tamara mentioned more sound effects. I agree. I think, we could hear the sounds of the children at the park. Maybe we as an audience could actually get to know a little more about each of your characters if there were a different giggle associated with each person. Things like that. But really, really enjoyed it. And I think my main question is the stuck in the tree. Just really, I just loved that moment. And I'm just curious, what is the wildest thing that you've ever gotten stuck in a tree?
Let me think. I have not gotten many things. Okay. Me and my sisters used to have like competitions as to who could throw a hula hoop higher up in a tree.
Uh-huh.
and then we had like a rake which we would use to get the hula hoops down, and some of these hula hoops would stay up in the tree for like weeks because they were higher than the rake could reach.
Well, I love when the thing that you're trying to use to get the other thing down also gets stuck.
Was
Awesome.
the rake ever stuck in the tree?
No, but sometimes when the rake failed, we would throw other hula hoops up in the tree to get the first hula hoop down. And that hula hoop got stuck in the tree.
I love that too, because then it ends up looking like a dysfunctional Christmas tree or something. You've got all these things stuck in the tree, and it looks like it's a fashion choice.
Yeah, is this intentional?
Right, exactly. I've definitely been there.
So the one thing I want to maybe suggest, or maybe even request as your next project, is some sort of sequel or prequel about the mysterious man on the bench. I want to know
reading the paper.
That story. Where's he from? Where's he going? Is he an international super spy? What's his
That's the vibe I got. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do a few more stop motion animations, which he like sort of photo bombs, but like video bombs before I really get into his history.
Okay, so he's
just little tastes.
Or he'll
be
be like
Stan Lee of the Charlotte cinematic universe.
I was gonna say Alfred Hitchcock, but we'll go Stan Lee. Wonderful job, Charlotte. Thanks so much for sharing that, and thanks for bringing me back to my childhood.
Yeah, incredible work, Charlotte.
Thank you.
All right, Charlotte. So here at the Film Fest right now, you in the future is there. So let's wave at future Charlotte.
Hello, future Charlotte. You might not remember me. I'm from like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, a lot has happened since then.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it up for Charlotte. That was such a great film.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Excellent job, Charlotte.
All right, thanks, Charlotte.
The following film may be too spooky for more sensitive viewers.
David, I have a question for you.
Boy, I love
Where
questions.
can I send my therapy bills because I can't sleep anymore? Trees will eat me.
Well, the trees will eat you, and there's actually like a 2-frame disclaimer at the beginning saying you can't sue me for anything, so you can't do that. Sorry.
He got me. He got me again.
The legalities.
It's in the static there.
Tamara, do you have any feedback for David?
Yes, David. I always look forward to seeing your films. Well, I was going to say, I don't know what I'm going to do once you graduate, but I do. I'll just have to follow your career. I'm so excited to see your work, and to seeing you continuously grow is so exciting. And this was awesome. I love the horror sci-fi. I really love that you were able to find moments of such silence and calm in this really short, high action film. Like when you're sitting in the kitchen, I just find that to be such a cool moment because it's such a quick film, and it easily could have been rushed, and that you found that moment of calm was really, it's just impressive to me. Obviously your effects are just bonkers, so good. You're so talented at that, and it's really, really fun to watch. The story was great. Everything you did was just made with such thoughtfulness, it feels. And I just 10 out of 10. I loved it so much. I think maybe something that could help in the future is possibly I think this was a choice on your end, so I'm just nitpicking here, but is lighting. I think certain moments, maybe in the bedroom and kitchen, you could have put some corner lightings to keep some shadow there, but just to maybe get a little brighter in there so we could see more detail. But then again, it seems like a choice to have it be very dark there, and they would agree. And I just absolutely loved it, David. It was so well done. Horror sci-fi is my favorite. I have a question for you. What if you were given a full budget right now to do, a $10 million budget film right now? Would it be a horror film? What genre would you choose?
Probably, yeah. Probably horror, sci-fi, maybe fantasy. I like horror a lot, and it's really fun to do stuff in.
It is.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Amazing job. Incredible work.
Thank you so much.
One of my fears is if you do get too much money, that you'll I feel like the constraints of Film Fest help you be so creative. Like, I love that you have basically not silent films, but like wordless. You're Buster Keaton in the middle of a Stephen King story. I love, I've never really seen that, but it's such an amazing combo. So even if you get a full budget, I just love your silent, almost you're reacting, but you're still almost underreacting. I love your performances in those. We always talk about your effects, but I love your performances as, whoever you always are.
But that being said,
thank you so much.
If you do get that big budget, I still need you to be doing the effects. $10 million budget. David is still doing the effects for it, though.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I just love what Evan just said, David, about you being Buster Keaton in a Stephen King story. That's always such a fun combination. Now, so I'm just still too terrified by the implications of that film to really form any coherent thoughts. No, I just love the vibe of the film. Right from the get-go. I mean, somehow, whether it's that first sound effect, you just know right from the go, oh, I'm in a horror film. You don't have to know anything else. You just dive right in, and we know right from the start that you're going to be mixing dream and reality, and you play with that in a really great way with a really great payoff at the end where, before you're harmed in the dream world, but then the dream world comes to the real world. And that's just such a great moment. The melting sap the eyeballs in probably undiscovered parts of the frame, I'm guessing, because I just noticed in the end credits that you had little eyeballs in the letters looking around.
Yes. There are lots of eyes in this one.
Yeah, the effects are just stunning. Now, because this isn't your first rodeo, I'm going to give you feedback to make this film even better, or your next film even better. So there's one edit in the film that I think you could get more creative with, and that's the passage of time when the coffee mug is filling, or the whatever that's called is filling up. You do kind of one of those little twirl effects to show passage of time, and on the big screen, it's rare that you'd see that effect because it's kind of like, it's like an iMovie effect, right? And so I challenge you to think, okay, how would I show the passage of time in that coffee scene without relying on that effect? Is it a new angle? Is it a cutaway to you? How do we show just how long this is taking? So that's one challenge to you. And then the other challenge is you've mastered, I think, the short form horror, and where pretty quickly the reveal, the twist is made clear to the audience. And what I want to see from you next is the slow burn, the story that emerges over time, and where the audience has an uneasy sense the entire time. Whoa, something's going wrong here. What is it? What's the weird thing? And so I do think that, I hope that the next thing I see from you is a feature, or at least a 20-minute thing, because I think that's the narrative genre that I think you can grow into next. So with that said, if you could, my question for you is, if you could become the special effects person on any current television show, what would it be? And I'll just throw out one that comes to mind for me. Stranger Things, perhaps. What else intrigues you?
Stranger Things, that's a good one. One show that I really wanted to do visual effects for was The Flash when I was watching it. I've kind of stopped watching that now, though. So I think more recently and more with the type of effects that I've been working on, I think Stranger Things would probably be a better fit. Although I'm definitely not at the skill level to work on any of those shows.
Well, put in your reel and see what happens. It's a growing reel. So I think people will be impressed. I look forward to seeing what the next chapter or what the next spin-off or just the totally different world you create next would be really fun to see.
Can't wait to create that.
Awesome. So we are now in the future, David, at the August 13th Teen Film Fest in Recreation Park. So you, a few weeks from now, is actually there. I don't know if you want to wave, say hi to yourself, if this is an inspiration for a future film.
Hey, have fun dealing with this sunburn. I hope everyone's enjoying the film fest so far. I'm honored to be here, and I hope you all are having fun too. High five, future David.
Awesome. Everyone give it up for David and his film, The Forest.
David!
Yeah! We hope you're enjoying the film so far. This is our 15th annual Teen Film Fest. Let's take a look back at some of the awesome teen-made films we've seen over the years.
regulator is set, gears are working. Nothing can go wrong on this trip.
Come on, bub. This is our only chance to escape jail. We were framed, remember?
Yeah, but if we get caught, we'll be put in jail for more months.
You're a chicken.
I'm not. What?
Just get in. What's the password?
For what?
For... Ow!
What he means is, there are some runaway criminals and they boarded this train, so we need the password to the security cams.
All I know is that it's a circle. A circle? My knee again. Try RDCVGT. Okay, so we should be in Iowa in an hour or so.
What is that?
Huh? Hello, criminal person. How did you find me? Oh, we have our ways. This ends now. No. Lights out, criminal person. Huh? Where am I?
We're back at jail. Our plan has failed.
What time is it?
12 a.m., midnight.
I think I have an idea.
That movie was so much fun, Devin. Can you talk about where you got the idea for that? Is Criminal Person someone you've made a lot of movies about?
Yeah, so I've made comics of them since fourth grade, and I made like one or two other animations with them, so I wanted to use them again for this film.
That's so awesome. Matt, do you have any questions or feedback?
I'm just so heartened to hear that there's both previous and there's prequels and sequels to this story. I'm sure sequels are in the works. And that's actually one thing I was surprised to see the end at the end, because I was expecting to see to be continued. But I really, what I just am floored by in your work, Devin, is the mouth movements. So it's hard to get animation to look like the mouth is actually doing what the words are saying. And so before I get to kind of constructive criticism, I just want to give you applause and kudos for just doing a masterful job of the mouth. You got the teeth, the tongue shows up, the different shapes of the mouth for different consonants. I'm really curious about how you have taught yourself. I'm sure there's a linguistic term for getting the mouth shapes right, but you seem to have a good instinct for it, or you've done your research or something, and I'm curious about your process.
Mm-hmm. So I record the lines first, and then I just listen to the audio, like a little bit of the audio, and I just think what mouth movement thing is best for that part.
Cool. So you've recorded it yourself, and you're kind of thinking through, or even sometimes even talking through, and what's my mouth doing now? And then you exaggerate that, and it just comes through so clearly and so enjoyably. And I also love the voices. Nothing can go wrong. There's a lot of fun character voices in there. And I love you have your own YouTube subscription channel, The Legendary Dinosaur, etc. In terms of ways that I think you can step this animation up a notch is, so you've got a great instinct for the mouth shapes. What I would love is some thought into the spatial logic of the animated world. I watched a behind the scenes with Pixar recently, and they actually have virtual cameras that they move around in the virtual world to think about what's the camera angle that would best tell this story. And I encourage you to kind of think in your mind, what's the camera angle that I should use for this next shot to really sort of help the audience know where they are in space. And then I think, the sequel will it'll have a bigger budget, and it'll be that much better. So thank you, Devin.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I want to add on my own compliments, not just the mouth movement, but like the eye work, especially for like criminal person who's fully masked in prison, which I was very surprised at, that he's still fully masked in prison. But like when he's speaking, you see like that eye work because he doesn't have the mouth work. I thought that was such a great addition and way to characterize him because we can't see the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks.
Of course. Are you? I see you're wearing. It looks like perhaps some characters
Some
on
merch.
on your shirt. Are those going to be available? Do you have a website that we can go and?
I don't know how to set up a website. I made this in 5th grade, just for fun.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You might want to figure out some way to mass produce those. Really fund your next film.
I would buy one.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one. I'll buy it. It makes a lot of sense, Devin, that you now hearing that these are established characters, because there's a fun like you have such a good comedy voice. Like there's just a lot. It seems like you've been living with these characters for a while, because there were some really fun jokes. The password thing had me laughing, and the chicken part, oh my gosh, I loved that. That was such a fun, quick, just little aside joke that was so great. And I can tell, like, if I were to go back and read your comics, that it would have a very similar tone. And that's just really cool to see the progression of you going from comics into animation. I was telling Matt and Evan that I'm really impressed by animation. It's something that I could never even dream of doing, and that you have made this short film fully animated is so impressive to me. How long does something of this length take for you to do?
I mean, this one I worked on really quickly. The animation part took me 2 weeks, and the storyboarding part took me like 1 week.
That's awesome. That's good to hear too, that there's a storyboarding first and then you go into animation, and you're not just like sitting there flying by the seat of your pants. You're planning things out, and that's really awesome. It was just delightful and super fun. Again, I agree with Evan that the eyebrow work, especially, I'm a big fan of eyebrow work. So you did a great job. I was super impressed. Well done, Devin.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and great choice of soundtrack also, that old-timey kind of serialized Western feel.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of fun, a lot of elements coming together to create a really fun tone.
Yeah.
Devin, we are so excited to see your future films. We know that you've got a lot more in you. I'm so excited to see where you go from this, especially as this being the first one we've really gotten from you.
Yeah.
So on August 13th here in Rec Park, there is a future Devin here. So I don't know if you want to wave to yourself, if you have anything to say to future Devin.
You'll be almost a month older.
Yeah, that's a safe, true statement. All right, everyone, let's give it up for Devin.
Woo, Devin!
Thanks, Devin. Thanks for this.
All right. Let's move on to our next film.
Donovan Chase, it's good to see you.
Colin?
What I'm about to do will make you think twice about ever betraying me again. As I'm sure you've noticed, you've woken up inside this stylish sedan, from which you cannot exit. All the doors are locked and the key has been hidden within the car.
What? Okay, first of all, I'm not 6, so you can quit it with this whole Easter egg hunt gimmick. And second, why am I even here?
I think you should know.
Nope, I don't.
Fine, I'll tell you.
3 of us were gonna make a killing selling satellite encryption codes on the black market, but then you had to rat us out to Homeland Security after finally getting away from them.
With our entire plan out the window, we realized that we had to get back at you.
You have 5 minutes to escape, and remember, I'll be watching. Good luck, you're really going to need it.
He's never gonna figure it out.
Why don't we just kill him or something?
You see, I thought about that, and then I was like, it'll be fun to watch him squirm, you know, just a little treat to myself. And now we wait.
Something many do not see, simple as it seems to be, answer phones with this one word. The 12thest letter is the 3rd. 12thest?
You try being a poet.
Look at this.
Get back to work.
Yes!
What?
He's already through the first puzzle.
There once was a man from Nantucket. Seriously?
Hey, she did the poem.
I did not. I designed the locks.
Oh, by the way, is this keypad really made out of a calculator?
We were on a budget. Solve the puzzles and don't complain.
There once was a man from Nantucket, whose mind was open as a bucket. His trails reached no end with the help of a friend who wrote quite the ethical cutlet. Wow, that's stepped up. Help of a friend? I'm telling you, man, these Plato quotes are gold. His view on ethics really opens up one's mind.
Great to hear it. Keep working.
Oh, yeah! Yes!
That's the second one.
He's getting there.
It's like you guys are making this easy on purpose.
You stuck?
Easy on purpose. This last one could let you go, or the opposite, who knows. Some things just aren't what they seem. Fire is water, smoke is steam. All in all, if in a pinch, being simple is a cinch. Oh, man! It all makes sense. The cheap hardware, the easy riddles. You used Google Slides to explain why I'm here. Natalia, you were able to hack into a government-controlled international supercomputer, and yet this keypad you made is literally a calculator. And Colin, you were able to access $2 billion worth of foreign transactions in a matter of hours and reroute them, and the best you could come up with is the man from Nantucket? The reason I'm even in a BMW is because I said I knew my way around them the best, and if this button behind the monitor does what I think it does, then it's really a button that unlocks the... You're trying to let me win. So that whatever's outside this car can finish me off when I open this door and leave. Well, guess what, Colin? You can't keep me in here forever.
I don't have to. Time's up.
Whoa. So that's what you'd do if I ratted out our plan.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Well, that wouldn't really make sense. Why wouldn't you just put me in a normal escape room? Because the way I see it, it would be a lot harder, and it would just put a lot more psychological strain on me, and it would just be way more of a torture method.
Jeff, that was so much fun.
Yes.
That was thrilling. Matt, do you have anything to share or ask Jeff about the film?
Yeah, so I'm familiar with your work from previous Teen Fests, and what I always enjoy about your work, Jeff, is the editing. So what the thought that occurred to me while watching this is that there's never a cut where there's like an awkward pause. A lot of times in as editors are learning their craft, there's kind of like a feeling of waiting for the action to start in every shot, but you start mid-action. You start in the middle of a movement, and everything flows from one shot to the next. And I also really love your camera angles. All the various feelings of there being hidden cameras throughout the car almost made me wonder if you really had 5 cameras going simultaneously. So really just fun camera work, fun editing. So yeah, great work. If there was, I'd say there were 2 things that I thought could be improved. One is the punch. I was looking for like a Fast and Furious, like Vin Diesel punch, like the sound just like unrealistically hard, like boom. And that would really bring home that punchline almost literally. So look for a sound effect that's one of those like fists hitting meat kind of sound effects. And then the ending, it was fun having seen this twice, because with the typical twist ending, you watch the second round with a different lens. You're in on the joke now. And I'd say the very first time I watched, that shift at the end happened so fast that I almost missed it. And so that's the one thing I'd encourage you to think about, is that ending. Is there one more shot or something else you can do that just really makes, slow audiences like me keep up with the joke? So, but great work.
Awesome. Tamara?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Jeff, this was so much fun. Again, very familiar with your work from last year, and you're such an incredible storyteller. I feel like with a short film time constraint, this is an ambitious story, just like your one last year as well. And I was so impressed by that. And it was so exciting for it to go into a place that I just wasn't expecting to at the end. It kept me on my toes, on the edge of my seat. And like Matt said, there was no unneeded exposition. Like, we were just in it right at the start. And that was really exciting, just to jump straight in. And you do such a good job with that. It's really impressive. It's just, again, like, just very exciting to watch. And again, like Matt said, upon second viewing, I'm finding that what I had written as something that maybe you could do to improve, I think was just actually a choice by you. I had written that audio is just such an obnoxious thing to deal with. We were dealing with it this morning, actually troubleshooting the fest. And I had written that, perhaps in the future, the audio coming from the computer, it took me out of it a little bit, because it was just a bit, the quality decreased a bit. But did you do that purposefully so that it sounded like it was coming from computer audio? Or it seemed like with your editing, maybe that was even a purposeful choice. But I had just written that possibly thinking about the audio a little bit more coming from the computer speakers when you guys were communicating through the computer could be something that you could think about. But I'm interested in how long this process was for you. So there's clearly so much detail, even down to, like, you make a joke about it in the film, but all of the traps and the puzzles they're clever. And so how long did it take you to compile yourself a shot list and your props and your actors and your script? What was the process like?
So, thank you. That is a very good feedback and a very good question. So, this actually took a lot less time than previous films. I think I mentioned last time with Spark that it took like upwards of a month, 2 months. But I had been writing the script for this. I originally got the idea for this film in freshman year, but I wanted to do Spark because I was like, no, I cannot wait another year to do Spark. I have to escape, like riddle me this. It was originally called Escape the Car, which boring. That just but I thought of riddle me this. This one took maybe I would say in its entirety with prop making and everything, since I was putting in a lot of work each day, around 2 or 3 weeks. I was able to get all of the filming done with my two friends, Colin and Lucy. Bless their hearts, they were able to do such a great job, be such convincing. I was able to get all of that done in just one day. The editing took around a week, and the filming was a lot easier since, unlike Spark, where it's in a million different rooms, this was just one car. So so that took around a week, just moving the camera around, trying to get it to stay in different locations.
Yes.
So it wasn't 5 different simultaneously cameras. Okay.
No.
Okay.
And a little bit of an editing, not catastrophe, but it was just frustrating since you have to line everything up. There were some shots where I did have the GoPro and the iPhone, because that's what I used to film, running simultaneously, and I had to sync those together and cut the different ones out. And you asked about, I'm just going to provide closure about the question about the audio decreasing. I did that on purpose, and I thought about adding, while I was filming it, I was like, hey, maybe I should add one of Final Cut Pro's audio effects that makes it sound like a walkie-talkie. But then I watched it and I was like, no, that just makes it inaudible. I think it's good enough as it is. And I had to switch that. I could have easily had just the audio from inside the car, which was the good audio.
Of course.
But I had to do that cutting and switching between computer audio, our audio, just to provide that like live streaming effect.
Of course. And again, after watching it a second time, that was pretty clear to me that was actually a choice and not like Matt said, the second viewing, you see a bit more, but man, yeah, that was so great. Really impressive. And also I really adored the comedy in it. I had a great time throughout. It was just really, really lovely.
And there were some little touches that I liked as well. So like with the riddle that had the line "smoke to steam," your music track starts to curve up like a steam kettle going off. And I just loved little touches like that. And it's clear from this that you love riddles, you love escape rooms. So I'm curious, my question for you is, what was your favorite escape room experience?
I would say the first one I ever did. It was in Schaumburg. It was a bank robbery sort of one. It was just because, at banks, you got vaults, you got locks, you got keys, puzzles. No, my favorite escape room experience was when my sister had a birthday party. I was allowed to bring a friend, and it was like a dark magic sort of thing. And we did not know what we were doing, but we eventually found it out. And it was just, I hadn't known this guy for a long time, and that was just sort of a bonding experience. So I would say, and just the riddles were so similar with that sort of poetic format. And I just really enjoyed, and that's sort of where some of the inspiration came from. You can sort of hear it in my 2019 entry, Control Freak. I don't know if you guys, I don't remember who exactly was judging for that, but it was about a sorcerer who was saying spells that were like the exact same format.
Oh, nice. Well, Jeff, maybe we'll see your name as director of Escape Room 4 or 5.
Yes. Yeah.
It would be.
So thanks so much, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you.
So I do have a quick question for you, Jeff. That car, whose car is that?
That is my mother's. I am not going to claim in any way that a car that nice belongs to me.
Sure. I would say if I have one criticism for your film, I love a good spit take. And I wish, and I get it, that was probably your computer, and having your friend spit all over your computer that's a commitment. But I would like, if the spit take had been more than just like a little bloop and an actual, like, nothing is funnier than someone being surprised or shocked at something and spits everything out of their mouth. Comedy gold every time. I just wish you'd been able to commit a little bit more to that. That's my only criticism.
He is going to be so mad when he comes to the fest and hears you say that. And I told him no, because I wrote in the script, spits out drink. And then I realized, you know what? Maybe not. And then he read it. It was like, dude, that's the only reason I came. I wanted to see. Oh, you know, so it actually come up as feedback. That's, you know, but I've seen Hollywood spit takes like in Back to the Future and just other movies where I've seen. So I'll keep that in mind.
I would maybe when you go back and like edit it, you can like computer add like the perfect spit take that you want. Maybe it'll be in 10 years, you know, your actor will look significantly older, or you'll just do an edited in spit take. Maybe that's your option.
Like it's like he's spitting out the water just because he's aged 10 years and he has no idea.
Where am I?
Yes, that's the move, is you just have him react to it in 10 years and film that and then edit that together. I love that. Excellent.
I'll just give him a ring. Be like, hey, here's your coming back. You're spitting all over my MacBook.
Thank you so much for submitting your film. We enjoyed it so much. So here at the Film Fest, everyone is watching you. And I don't know if you know this, you from the future is also here in the audience. Do you want to wave at yourself and maybe say anything to your future self?
Hello, August 13th, Jeff. Keep cranking ahead on your entry for next year and the year after that. You got to keep doing this. And yeah, just tell Colin and Lucy they did a good job if you haven't already. And have a good night.
All right, everyone, let's hear it for Jeff.
Yes, Jeff.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Jacob, that is so fun.
Thank you.
Oh boy, where did you get the idea? Is this canon? Have you? I don't know if you've spoken with Disney. Is this official, or is this like I don't know the details?
Still working through that.
Okay.
This process behind it, but
I'm sure. Awesome. Tamara, do you have any feedback or questions for Jacob?
Yes, Jacob. Oh, my cheeks hurt. I was smiling. I love this movie. I love it so much. It first started out on the desk, and I saw that we were going to be following, these Star Wars characters around. And I was like, oh man, I kind of wish it was in a more Star Wars kind of setting. And then as it went along, I was like, oh no, Tamara, you are wrong. I love the setting of the movie. I think it's so great to have these characters in walking around with slippers and trying to get under this closet door. And it's hilarious. I think your use of comedy in this was fantastic. And the sound effects were lovely. I think they added so much. I think really, I mean, if I'm just nitpicking, something maybe that could help in a next project would possibly be some light background music, maybe, but I just enjoyed the sound effects so much that I didn't really miss any background music. I just loved it. I thought it was so good, so smooth, really impressive stop motion work. Honestly, just across the board, incredible work with your comedy and your stop motion, your script, and your use of the Legos, and the fire coming up was delightful. And it was just so exciting to watch. I asked another entry how long their stop motion had taken. How long did this take you to do? Because it was so smooth and so well done.
Over the course of several days, I worked for like 3 or 4 hours, so probably like 10, 12 hours, something like that.
The time you put in shows, you did a phenomenal job. I love this movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, likewise. And I'll pick up on Tamara's word that she used to describe your stop motion, which was smooth. That's the best thing is when you almost forget that it's stop motion because it's so smooth, and it had a Toy Story vibe to me, where it's like these toys are agents of their own. They have agency. They're moving. They're exploring. They're hiding. They're trying to get through doors, and it felt real, and that was really cool. And there's one aspect of the stop motion that I could say that next round you could work to figure out how to eliminate it, but I'm going to say it's actually a feature rather than a problem. So what I'm talking about is the carpet. So the carpet has some evidence of stop motion in it. You see kind of the ruffles kind of move where you've been moving your pieces, but I kind of loved that. It just lent it so much character. It really brought out the texture of that carpet. And it reminded me a little bit of are you a fan of Wallace and Gromit?
No, I don't think.
Okay. I would encourage you to check them out. They are early in stop motion animation history. They're classics. So check out I think the original Wallace and Gromit. I forget what it was called, but it was about them launching to the moon, and the moon is made out of cheese. And you can see some fingerprints in the clay that the claymation is being made out of. And that little byproduct, that little evidence of the human touch, is actually really cool. And it's unique to the art form of claymation. And I thought the carpet kind of brought that same kind of cool, unique touch. So I would actually, I'm fine with that. Even though everything else was really smooth and I bought into it, that little evidence of the process in the carpet was pretty cool. So my question for you, and I thought I was going to count this time, but I got too involved again and was just enjoying it. But how many different tools does that little droid use to try to get through the door?
Honestly, I don't have an exact count either.
Let's list them. There's the blowtorch. There's the circular saw. There's
the two sizes of lightsabers.
Yeah, I love the classic joke of use a bigger version of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That or the barrel joke are my two favorites. Like, I don't think I
Yeah.
could choose between them, but those are like such great, classically used, beautifully executed gags.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, too, I absolutely love us zooming out of the credits to our droid watching it and being very upset about it, and then taking it matters into his own beeps and fixing it himself. And that was so funny. I think the comedy was great.
Thanks.
Yeah, really well sequenced, and there's that rule of three. That's why I asked you about the number of times he tried to get through the door, because usually it's the rule of three. Here I feel it was like the rule of 13 or whatever. It was like, how far can we go? It was great.
Was there anything that like inspired you or really had this idea, like that really sparked the idea for you?
I mean, the idea of having like the Lego characters almost like come to life and within the world, and sort of interact with the world was like I've had for a while because I've done it with some of my other like Lego animations. Um, but then in particular, the actual story and like being based on the droid and everything was mostly based on like I saw that set and thought it would be cool to do one like based around that character like escaping, because obviously like in the set, like even on the cover of the box the character is like trapped, um, and then a lot of the other things also I just took inspiration from the Lego pieces I happen to have and thought like what could I do with this that would be fun.
And where did the inspiration to add the pop-up cookies message come from?
That was mostly based on the fact that Droid is like technically still a computer. And again, I was looking inspired personally by pieces because I was looking around through stuff and I found the cookie piece and I thought like because it's a computer, why not connect that?
Awesome. I loved the hover between accept and then nope, decline. Yeah.
I literally, when first watching it for the first split second, thought that it had popped up on my actual computer, and it made me laugh out loud. It was so funny.
Jacob, this was so great.
Yeah.
So we want to give you the opportunity to say hello to your future self. I don't know if you've brought R5 with you as well, but I mean, it'd be cool if you had. But do you want to give yourself future self a wave? Maybe give yourself a message.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't bring R5, but hi, me.
Awesome, everyone. Let's hear it for Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. Great work.
So good. We'll be announcing our awards in just a minute, but first, it's time for you, our audience, to put your stamp on FilmFest history. Follow the link or QR code on the screen. First, you'll vote for our Audience Choice Award, where you can choose your favorite of the films we've seen tonight.
Next, we're introducing a new award for Teen Film Fest, the Golden Clapper Award. The category for this award is going to change every year. The audience at each film fest will choose the category for the next year's Golden Clapper. Vote for your favorite category. Your options are Funniest Sound Effect, Weirdest Prop, Best Line of Dialogue, Most Creative Location, or Best Use of Music. Finally, you'll have a chance to share feedback on this event. Vote using CrowdPurr by following the link and QR code on the screen. Voting starts now.
All right, it is now time to announce the winners of all of our awards. Our categories are Best Acting, Best Special Effects, Best Screenplay or Storyline, Best Camera Work and Editing, and Best Overall Film. So here it goes. Our winner for Best Acting is Generation Zodiac by Vishnu Bala. Tamara, can you talk more about why you all awarded this film?
Absolutely. Vishnu, you did such an incredible job on camera and off camera. You're so dynamic with your voiceover work, and you immediately draw the audience in and get them on your side. It's so fun to watch you. You mentioned that you had gained the confidence to do on-camera stuff in addition to your off-camera acting work. And I'm so glad that you made that leap, because you just do an incredible job. You're incredibly likable, and you come from a family of incredibly likable people as well, apparently, as what we've seen in this film fest. So incredible work. How many times can I say incredible? I'm going to keep going. You are an incredible actor. Thank you so much. What about you, Matt?
Oh man, yeah, Vishnu, your voice is what is just unforgettable about your performance. I still hear it in my head right now. It's this stream of consciousness rant that's kind of musing about, all sorts of things. And I love where you take us. And I love when you described your process, how it was a combination of script writing, but also improv. And improv is hard. So, every actor would tell you that improv is one of the hardest things you can do. So the fact that you pulled that off and made it such an enjoyable journey for us, kudos, well done.
One more time for Generation Zodiac, Vishnu. All right, and our next award is Best Special Effects. And the winner of this award is The Forest by David Petrados. Let's hear it for The Forest.
Woo!
That applause is for the film The Forest, and David for his special effects, not for the actual evil forest full of eyes. I just want to make that clear. Matt, can you talk more about why that film was awarded Best Special Effects?
The best special effects are seamlessly blended with the cinematography. And that really was the case here. I could not tell where the actual footage ended and the special effect began in terms of that tree sap and the hole in the tree. It was just so seamlessly blended and had such a feeling of reality to it. The eyeballs, the goo, it felt tactile, it felt real. It felt rather than was seen. Like there was actual real multi-sensory aspects to what you created in pure visual effects. So that sense of heightened reality was really phenomenal, and why I chose this for Best Visual Effects.
I would agree completely. I think, David, you're so talented in so many aspects of the filmmaking process. You're clearly a talented actor and storyboarder and creator, but your special effects are undeniable. It's incredible to watch you grow, and this was so engaging in such a short amount of time, which really impressed us. I think that you pair it so well with the story. You pair it so well with the sound effects that you choose, and you just make it, like Matt said, so seamless. It's an incredible job, and I can't wait to see what else you make. Thank you so much.
One more time for David. All right, and our next award is for Best Screenplay or Storyline. And our winner for this award is Riddle Me This by Jeff Buck. Tamara, can you talk more about what it was about the storyline and screenplay that made you award this film?
Yes, Jeff, you did such an incredible job with this. We've already talked about how you brought us in. There wasn't too much exposition. We just were launched immediately as an audience into this very ambitious story that you completely nailed. I think that the storyline and the surprises at the end and the comedy that you're able to get through is so impressive and really engaging and interesting. And congratulations. It's just an incredible job. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, for me, the storytelling, one of the key things in the storytelling for Riddle Me This was the characters that you created. The character who was stuck in the car had this fun kind of brash arrogance to him, you know, a self-confidence, like, why would you even create something this easy for me? I loved that. I loved the two sort of bickering characters in the, you know, adjacent to the garage that we eventually discover. They each had their own personality and a fun little, you know, prideful argument over who did what, or who's to blame for something that didn't work out well. And so the characters really made it fun. And the dialogue was well written for those characters. And without good dialogue and good characters, you don't have a good screenplay. And so those, I thought, were the building blocks that really made your film shine in terms of screenplay and story.
Awesome. One more time for Jeff. All right, our next award is Best Camera Work and Editing. And our winner for that award is Monster by Madeline Painter. Here's for Madeline. Matt, can you talk more about why you awarded this film?
Absolutely, yeah, Madeline. I think the reason that this category is Best Camera Work and Editing is because you used both, and they were completely dependent on each other to work. So you created this sequence where we're not quite sure if there really is a monster under the bed. And to do that, there needs to be something about the camera work, about the camera angles that's slightly unsettling, right? And so in the framing of your shots, either high angle or low angle, or we can't quite see your full face, or there's only your toes wiggling that we can see, that kind of thing, you really create a sense of something unseen. And the sequencing of that leads to that final camera angle from under the bed where you tilt down and look. And it's just a really neat pairing of camera choice, you know, angles that you pre-planned, and then really seamlessly bringing those shots together in the editing. So well done, really well thought out, and it had a fun payoff at the end. So great job. What about you, Tamara?
I totally agree with you, Matt. I think that when you're making a film in a mostly solo environment, I think it can be very easy to focus mostly on other aspects of filmmaking. I think I'm talking from experience here. I think that capturing dynamic, interesting shots and being so aware of your angles and what you are choosing to show and not show is so important. And it leaves such an impact on the film. And you did it in such a seamless way. It just read as just this easy task, which it simply is not. And as the audience, we just got to see this magnificent reveal of this monster, and you did an incredible job with it. I was dazzled from the beginning. Well done. Congratulations.
One more time for Madeline. All right, and next up, we have our final award for Best Overall... What? Oh. No, sure. Sure, I'll wait. Okay, and we're back. Are you sure you're done? We're good? Okay, excellent. And finally, we will announce our award for Best Overall Film. And that award goes to Droid Saga by Jacob Painter. Tamara, can you talk some more about this award?
Absolutely. Jacob, we awarded you this award because Droid Saga was mentioned in a couple of our winning categories. You nailed so many things about this movie. It was so smooth. It was so funny. The story was well told and very engaging. And you showed so many different aspects of the filmmaking process in such a successful way. It was incredible. Congratulations on this award. You absolutely deserve it. I can't wait to see more stuff from you. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, so you'll notice with the Academy Awards, a lot of the time, the film that wins Best Picture sweeps lots of the other categories. And I feel like Droid Saga, really, we could have given it an award for several other categories. The special effects, you used seamless stop motion animation, really fun to watch. Camera work and editing, your angles, I mentioned it reminded me of Toy Story, and that's because you moved the camera down to the level of those droids and those characters, and it felt like they were exploring a world that was massive for them and that we were their size. Best story, it was just so fun to follow the misadventures of R5. And best acting, animators are actors. A lot of times when you watch behind the scenes with animators, they're talking about doing the actions themselves so that they can think about how their character is going to act. I saw some just real great character coming through in all of the stop motion that you did. So when you do that good at all those other categories, it's a no-brainer. Best overall, Droid Saga, congratulations.
All right, let's hear it for Jacob. And congratulations to all of our Film Fest award winners. You all did amazing. All right, everyone, we are about to conclude our 15th annual Teen Film Fest. But before we go, I was wondering if our judges had any parting advice or messages for our filmmakers, maybe future filmmakers who are here in the audience. What would you want to say to them, Matt?
Yeah, so one of the things I love about judging the Teen Film Fest is in the end credits, I often see, story by, and then the filmmaker's name, edited by the filmmaker's name. And it's so fun to see just all the different places of filmmaking that you had your fingers in. That's a delight to see. When you get to the big screen, except unless you're Robert Rodriguez or something, you're rarely going to see that. You're going to see all sorts of collaborators that are required to make a film, hundreds, thousands of collaborators. And so I would love to see the awardees from this year's Teen Film Fest team up. I would love to see you collaborate. I would love to see you join your stop motion skills or your special effects skills with someone else's editing skills and someone else's story writing skills. Really, we're stronger together, and films are stronger together. And so it's a collaborative medium. Reach out to those fellow award winners and make something together next year. Thanks.
How about you, Tamara?
Yeah, man, it's just so incredible to see every year these fresh voices of humans who just really want to make film and are sharing those films. I know that sharing your projects can be very intimidating sometimes, so I just encourage you to keep sharing them, keep making them. The film industry is always so thirsty for fresh voices, and you are those voices. So keep making those things. I know that's very cliche, but it's just simply what must be done. Thank you so much for sharing your work. It's always so incredibly inspiring. Wonderful job.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's hear it once again for every single one of our filmmakers. Oh, did such a good job. Filmmakers, please stick around. Fine library staff. We want to do a big group photo with all of you and the judges and get everyone together in a photo. So please stick around for that. We also want to take this time to thank the Park District for helping us make this happen, for for helping us set up this space and the screen and all of this equipment and everything. None of this could have happened in the awesome way it has without our partnership with the Park District. So let's hear it for the Arlington Heights Park District. And I want to thank all of the library staff that was involved in making this happen. This is a large thing every year, and it's always changing. And our entire teen services department, we've had folks from the youth services department and programs and events and graphics and editing videos, all of this. None of this could have happened without all the amazing people working for it at our library. So let's hear it for them. And a thank you to our judges, Matt Lauterbach and Tamara Chambers. Let's hear it for them. See them in the flesh. Hey, look at, they're here. Look at them. There they are.
Oh, hi. Tamara, Matt, hello.
What's up?
And finally, we want to thank you, our amazing audience, for coming out tonight and making this such a great event. Thank you all for coming and supporting these great teen filmmakers. You're all great. Everyone's great. All right, that is it. This has been the 15th annual Arlington Heights Memorial Library Teen Film Fest. Thank you all for coming. This is it. Toodles.